So yeah, we are in Michigan where a former Sheriff's Department sergeant sentenced for assault of an inmate. Now, while you listen to this, I want you to think of everything you thought law enforcement was, everything you grew up, if depending on your age, you grew up knowing about law enforcement, and then think about punishments that I won't say normal, but people that aren't the thin blue line, the punishments that they would get. And let's see where this goes. Jackson, Michigan, a former Hillsdale County Sheriff's Department sergeant has learned his sentence for the assault of a county jail inmate. Wednesday, Ronald Leggitt, 44, of Marshall, was sentenced to 2 years probation with the first 7 days to be served in jail for assaulting an inmate under his supervision at the Hillsdale County Jail in December of 2021. And we're just getting to the bottom of this in 2025. So, it happened in December 2021. In November 2024, Leggitt pled guilty to 1 count of misconduct in office and 1 count of aggravated assault. Leggitt has also permanently relinquished his Michigan Commission on Law Enforcement Standards. It's posted in most places, which is Police Officer Standard and Training. Same thing. Certification, a requirement for employment as a police officer in Michigan. Sorry, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Anyway, with this conviction, Mr. Leggitt has been stripped of his ability to serve as a police officer in Michigan, preventing him from harming others who would have been under his authority. I should say, has been stripped of his ability to harm anyone, period. Hasn't been stripped of it, just he's not getting paid for it now. Said Attorney General Nessel at the time Leggitt pled. My department remains committed to holding accountable those who abuse their position. Does it? Okay. Case background. According to the Department of the Attorney General, in the early morning of December 16, 2021, a woman was brought into custody at the Hillsdale County Jail where Leggitt was supervising operations and staff. Staff at the jail were told the woman had resisted officers during arrest. Now, what was it resisting? They could have said, get out of your car, and you might take an extra second or two to get. You gotta take your seatbelt off. You gotta move shit. Get out. Oh no, resist it. It's what you can't win. You can't win with them. I'm just saying. While at the jail, she continued to show resistive and disruptive behavior. What? They told her to move over 3 feet, and she only moved over 1.5 feet. What was the disruptive and resistant behavior? They won't tell you that. For 80 minutes, though, Leggitt assaulted the inmate 6 times with aerosol subject restraint. It's OC spray, and it's not just your run-of-the-mill OC spray. It is law enforcement strength. As a matter of fact, you can only go to certain places and get law enforcement strength, and you have to show your law enforcement to get it. My husband went and picked his up, and let me tell you, that shit hurts, and I'll tell you how I know. He went and picked his up and got back to the house and had mentioned that he had forgot it in the car, and I didn't think anything about it. And a little bit later, I was taking, me and our son were going, I don't know, to a store or something. He was like 3 in the back seat in his little car seat. And I was putting my stuff in the car, and I noticed it, and I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and put it in its case. He had a leather round clip-on that clipped onto the side of his duty belt. And I opened it up, and I opened the case up, and of course, you have to put it in a certain way and turn it so it clicks in. And it has a little flip latch on the top, so you don't accidentally spray it. You flip it up and then you spray it. It's called punch 2 or 3. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, long and short, I grabbed the case, I grabbed it, I put it in there, and it wasn't fitting. What wasn't fitting, my dumbass turned it to look to see why it wasn't fitting, and when I turned it, when my hand turned, it slid up underneath the little thing that you have to pop up to spray it, and as all that happened, it decided it was going to fit, and when my hand went down, it sprayed right into my face. So in a panic, I'm like, holy crap, baby's in the back seat. I'm opening up the doors. I'm feeling around for the keys. I just hit the panic button on the alarm on the car thinking it would get his attention and he would get out there, and it did. And I'm not screaming and hollering, but I'm telling you, snot and spit you can't see. It's going everywhere. It's hard to breathe. Your brain doesn't understand perception from reality. And it goes into fight or flight. And all of your adrenaline starts pumping. And he come out and he saw what was happening, of course, because you can smell it. And I could hear him giggling, but anyway, long and short, I got myself cleaned up, got my face and you don't wipe your face, let it walk around, shake your head, kind of let it air off a little bit, and then get somebody with a water hose and bend over, close your eyes, close your mouth, and just spray the water hose in your face, and take your head back and forth. Don't wipe it, let it dry, and then as you got time, go in and, clean that shit up. And yeah, it burns. It was all subject restraint, commonly known as mace or pepper spray. Yeah, they can. It's mace or pepper spray to the layperson, but the OC spray that they have is some serious shit. Spraying a chemical irritant into her face from a distance of mere inches. During 5 or 6 assaults, the victim was secured in an emergency restraint chair where she was restrained in wrist and ankle cuffs as well as chest restraint. So she had already been resistive according to them, so they probably had her handcuffed behind her back and they had her feet handcuffed to the chair so she couldn't go anywhere. And just as I'll show you, for 80 minutes, he just walked around and sprayed her with some OC spray. This is what we're dealing with. This is what I keep saying. I'm just saying. So this is probably going to say the same thing.
Former Hillsdale County Sheriff Sergeant will spend 7 days in jail. Investigators say 44-year-old Ronald Leggitt assaulted a woman with mace for more than an hour while she was in the Hillsdale County Jail back in November. As part of his sentence, Leggitt will be on probation for 2 years after serving 7 days behind bars. He also permanently relinquished his Commission on Law Enforcement Standards certification, which is required for employment as a police officer here in the state of Michigan.
This is probably going to be the same thing, but former Hillsdale Sheriff Sergeant sentenced to jail for assaulting an inmate in 2021. This is January 30th. I don't remember what the other one was from. Anyway, former Hillsdale County Sheriff Sergeant Ronald Leggitt sentenced to let that sink in. 7 days in jail and 2 years probation. 7 days in jail he got for, in my opinion, assault and battery. We can throw in undercolor law. I mean, I'm just saying, not only was he in his official duties, he was inside of the jail and did it anyway. There should be 7 days in jail and 2 years of probation. Pled guilty to misconduct in office and aggravated assault as part of the plea deal that also stripped him of his ability to serve as a police officer in Michigan. It better strip him of his ability to serve as a police officer anywhere, because sometimes they'll strip it in one state and you can move to another state. No, it better be stripped. It better be burnt. You better not be able to piece that shit back together. The assault involved Leggitt using pepper spray, it was OC spray, on the inmate 6 times over an 80-minute period, including 5 instances where she was restrained in a chair. An investigation into Leggitt's actions was launched after Michigan State Police troopers witnessed the incident and reported it to Hillsdale County Sheriff Scott Hodshire. Hillsdale, former Hillsdale County Sheriff's Sergeant, because, he's got 3 stripes and he's a smart one. He's not. He's an idiot. Ronald Leggitt, 44, Marshall, was sentenced to 7 days jail and 2 years probation Wednesday in Jackson's 4th Judicial Circuit Court for assaulting an inmate at the Hillsdale County Jail in 2021. Also, why didn't they arrest him when they saw it? With this conviction, Mr. Leggitt was stripped of his ability to serve as a police officer in Michigan, preventing him from harming others who would have been under his authority, said Attorney General Dana Nessel. Attorney General Dana. At the time of Leggitt's plea hearing in November 2024, my department remains committed to holding accountable those who abuse their positions. Does it? Hold him accountable? Are we holding him accountable? 7 days in jail and 2 years of probation. That'll teach him. It will not. Leggitt relinquished his MC, that's Peace Officer Standard and Training, same thing, certificate as part of the plea deal in November 2024. When he pleaded guilty to misconduct in office and 1 count of aggravated assault. And there's the degenerate there. There is no standards. This is 0 standards. I'm just saying, this right here, they never shave anymore. They probably what they do is, before they go to bed at night, they go ahead and put a uniform on. That way, they don't even got to worry about getting dressed of a morning. This is no standards. And when you have no standards, this is exactly what you get. Pictured in his patrol vehicle in his 2019 photo. Oh, idiot. And also, look at all this shit up here that's obstructing his view. And over here, there'll be a GPS. Leggitt's case stems from a prolonged assault of a restrained female inmate at the Hillsdale County Jail on December 16, 2021, while he was assigned as a supervisor over the jail and road patrol. Hillsdale County Sheriff Hodshire previously shed light on the incident. He previously said that staff at the jail were informed the victim, under arrest at the time, had resisted officers during her arrest and during the booking process at the jail. She continued to exhibit restraint and disruptive behavior, which was what? Nobody's saying what that was. Over the course of 80 minutes, Leggitt assaulted the inmate 6 times with an aerosol subject restraint, commonly known as mace or pepper spray. So they're saying that to downplay it. You can go to the store and you can buy mace and pepper spray. You can spray yourself in the face all day long, nothing. They have OC spray, and it's some fucking, I don't know, it's OC. Look it up. OC spray law enforcement. It's, anyway, it's a different name, and it's 1,000 times more than mace or pepper spray. Spraying the chemical irritant into her face from a distance of mere inches. During the 5 or 6 assaults, the victim was secured in an emergency restraint chair, restrained in wrist and ankle cuffs, as well as a chest restraint. So then, she can't even, like, try and bend over and, like, get that shit off. Hodshire said the incident was reported to him by Michigan State Police Jackson Post Commander, First Lieutenant Kevin Rod. Holy shit, can the titles get any longer? Days after the incident, who advised him that his troopers witnessed excessive force. Days after his troopers witnessed the force. Why didn't they do anything about it then? That is a assault and battery committed in their presence. If you'd done that, if they saw you do that, trust and believe, you're going to jail. Hodshire said he then launched an internal investigation and reviewed the jail surveillance videos to determine if there was any evidence to support the troopers' claims. With evidence at hand, Hodshire then contacted the Michigan Sheriff's Association mission team to formally investigate the matter as an independent investigative agency. They all cover for each other. Leggitt was placed on administrative desk duty during the investigation, and after 8 weeks, the mission team forwarded their findings to the Michigan Attorney General's office in February 2022. So the sheriff didn't look at it and make a decision? No, because they can't do that. They got to have other people do that. The Michigan Attorney General's office filed formal charges against Leggitt in March of 2024, charging him with 6 counts of aggravated assault and misconduct in office. Well, so, can you imagine? You're sitting there, probably, well, we already know she's in a chair restraint. Her legs, her ankles are handcuffed to the chair. She's handcuffed, probably, her hands behind her back to the chair, and then she's got a strap around her chest to where she can't move. And this punk is going to walk by at least 6 times because he can and figures there's no accountability and just spray her in the face. This is zero standards. This is no accountability. And when you have that, it's no wonder they're doing the shit they do. Anyway, let me know what you think about this one. Also, 95% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed. I mean, come on, hit the button. Let me know what you think about this one. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm out.